Another episode of Creature Commandos just dropped, and it absolutely crushed it. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Comic Chronicles. James Gunn's new DCU has finally launched, and this third episode of Creature Commandos is packed with action and a ton of feels. We got the resolution of what went down with the Bride and Nina after their fight with Circe, but this time, the spotlight is on G.I. Robot, the robot who fought in World War II. This episode featured even more characters from the DC universe, and if you thought episode 2 was intense, get ready because this one outdid itself, and you gotta catch every little detail. Plus, we'll talk about more spoilers that DC dropped about the next episode, so stick around until the end. For those who are out of the loop and don't know what's going on or what Creature Commandos is, here's a quick rundown for you. It's basically a new Suicide Squad. Amanda Waller was banned by the government from using humans in her missions, so she created a new team made up of monsters. If you want to get the full scoop on Creature Commandos, hit the card popping up on your screen and check out our video on episodes 1 and 2. Don't forget to hammer that like button on this video and subscribe to our channel. If you don't want to miss anything about the new DCU and want the best updates, you gotta be subscribed to our channel. Help us out. Rick Flag Sr. and the other members of the Creature Commandos teamed up with the general from the castle to save the Bride and Nina. Flag noticed that the two were chilling at Frankenstein's mansion, and he quickly figured it was a trap. When they arrived, G.I. Robot starts to remember when he fought alongside Sergeant Rock's Easy Company during World War II. Look at Sergeant Rock making his debut in the DCU. After this cameo, I really believe we're gonna see a Sergeant Rock movie for the DCU based on the rumors we mentioned in that video popping up in the card. I think it's just a matter of getting the contracts sorted with Daniel Craig and Luca Guadagnino to direct the film. Since G.I. Robot was part of Easy Company, it'd be cool if he showed up in the Sergeant Rock film. Honestly, I don't think that would be hard to pull off, especially since James Gunn hinted in recent interviews that there's technology used in the Superman movie that would probably allow G.I. Robot to be brought to life in live action. Back in the present, the Bride was tied up inside Frankenstein's mansion, while Nina was stuck in a bathtub filled with water and couldn't get out. Up to that point, nothing had happened to them, but that was the whole trap, getting Flag and the other monsters and the general out of the castle to leave Princess Ilana vulnerable. They rushed toward the castle while another flashback of G.I. Robot played, but this time, it was after the war. He was on a TV show where his achievements in the war were praised. Since he was built with only one directive, to take out Nazis, after the war ended, he had a hard time figuring out who was a Nazi or not. In the audience was none other than William Magnus, a character from the DC comic universe. He was the creator of the Metal Man and one of the top experts in DC's robotic engineering. So here we have another comic character stepping into the new DCU. Magnus takes G.I. Robot for studies that would eventually lead him to create more robots, and we soon see a sketch of what might become the Metal Man. There's a cool moment where Magnus tells G.I. Robot that he'll make some upgrades and asks if the robot wants anything, if there's something he'd like to do. The robot replies that he only has one directive, to take out Nazis, but Magnus then asks what he'd want to do if he didn't have that directive, and G.I. Robot quickly responds that he'd like to hang out with his Easy Company buddies again, taking out Nazis, which shows he formed a bond with his comrades. This is a moment where you can really see how James Gunn knows how to build characters you wouldn't normally care about at first. He gives them depth and emotions that make you invested in them. He does this brilliantly, especially with non-human characters, like G.I. Robot now, or Yondu, or even Rocket Raccoon. Back at the castle, Princess Ilana is attacked by the sons of Themyscira. Her soldiers engage in combat, but the princess still has to make a run for it and ends up getting caught by one of the sons of Themyscira. She does everything she can to break free and sprints to her room, while outside, the Creature Commandos arrive to help out the castle and take down the invaders, giving us more action scenes filled with violence. Nina gets a backup suit, and while G.I. Robot observes the whole fight, he remembers the time he was bought by a collector. Yup folks, G.I. Robot ended up becoming obsolete and turned into a collector's item, getting tossed in among rare military memorabilia. G.I. is then acquired by a lonely guy who lives with his cats. He takes care of the robot and powers him back up, and at first, you think they'll create a bond where G.I. becomes this guy's buddy, but one day, the robot is taken to meet the dude's friends, who are hanging out in a cabin in the woods for some kind of convention for people wanting to make the country a better place. It quickly becomes clear that these folks, including his owner, are Nazis, leading to a major moment in the episode where the past and present collide. Rick Flag Sr. tells G.I. Robot that the people attacking the castle are Nazis and that he can fire away. Then we see the robot in the present, showing off the upgrades Magnus made, and in the past, firing away and feeling happy doing what he's always wanted to do, take out Nazis with his friends. By friends, I mean the Creature Commandos in the present, who, in a way, are his new crew. G.I. takes out the disguised Nazis in the past and the Sons of Themyscira in the present, and then we get one last flashback where the robot was judged for what he did back in the woods. While he's being sentenced and taken to prison, we also see the moment he was presented to the world and cheered on by the public. G.I. Robot was locked up in Belle Reve after that sentencing, and he was there for a long time until he got recruited for the Creature Commandos. The robot then takes down the Sons of Themyscira with a smile on his face, but he soon gets wrecked by Circe, who appears behind him and hits him with her magic. Yup folks, that was the sad end of G.I. Robot, a major twist in this episode. I didn't expect him to get taken out so soon. Circe then flies into the castle, where Ilana was fighting off the guys trying to kidnap her, using her backup weapon from her room, but Circe shows up and doesn't kill the princess right away just out of sheer whim. Ilana begs for her life, but when Circe prepares to deliver her final blow, Weasel pops up and starts attacking the villainess. Seriously, I didn't see that coming. Weasel going after Circe and stretching the fight for a good while. If you thought it was wild for the bride to hold her own against Circe in the last episode, you're gonna think it's insane that Weasel is giving the sorceress this much trouble. Circe really got nerfed. Phosphorus shows up and in a grotesque scene begins to burn the villain, while the bride tells Flag that what he wanted, he now has, a team of monsters. Meanwhile, Nina finds G.I. Robot's head, all banged up, but he still manages to say a few words. He tells her it was a wonderful day, and as he tries to say, cheers for the Tin Man, he fades away in that emotional moment. The episode ends with Circe alive, telling the Creature Commandos that they have no idea what they're doing because they just doomed the world, wrapping up with this suspense. Guys, that was another epic episode. You can really see the critique that James Gunn subtly makes about the Sons of Themyscira, labeling the extremists as Nazis, while also developing G.I. Robot as a character who increasingly felt out of place over time because his directive meant for the battlefield got lost over the decades. As a robot with a mind and desires, he was used merely as a study object over the years until he was tossed aside. In my opinion, it was a killer episode. Thinking about it, we could create a quick theory. What if Circe actually has a goal that results in the planet's safety, and in this case, the Creature Commandos are like the villains getting in the way? Considering what she said at the end about them not knowing what they were doing and that they are dooming Earth, could that happen? We're gonna have to wait for the next episodes to better understand the witch's true intentions. Now, briefly moving to the spoiler that DC dropped online again, we got a preview of the next episode, and in this trailer, there were more reveals from that apocalyptic scene where Superman, Starfire, and Peacemaker appeared dead. I really want to understand why they dropped these spoilers in a short episode trailer, but what we have now is confirmation of more characters for the DCU, alongside some who have already been confirmed with their own projects or appearances in the Superman film, including Hawkgirl, Supergirl, another that looks like Booster Gold, Wonder Woman, who stands out wearing her classic suit and her bloody tiara, and finally, Robin also appearing lifeless. Even though he was in the trailer for only a brief moment, it's still a huge reveal for the audience. Clearly, all of this could just be an apocalyptic scene that may never happen, but still, these are major character reveals for us. Supergirl looks like she's wearing an outfit resembling the comic Supergirl, The Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King and Bilquis Evely, which might even hint at what the heroine's outfit will look like in live action, considering Superman is in the same outfit from the movie. So these are some big reveals. The question remains about which Robin is showing up in the scene, and it's likely to be Damian Wayne himself. Since Starfire also showed up, is this a hint towards a Teen Titans movie? Will Damian be part of that crew? That's a possibility, but what really grabs attention in this scene is Wonder Woman rocking her classic outfit, moving far away from what we've seen recently in Gal Gadot's DCU films. I believe that even Wonder Woman's origin in the DCU might return to her being made from clay, like in the 80s comics, instead of what was portrayed in the DCEU where she was Zeus's daughter, much like in the New 52 comics. For you DC fans out there, I've put together a selection of products you're definitely going to want to add to your collection, and to grab them at a great price, just click the link in the description of this video. Now I want to hear your thoughts. Did you like episode 3 of Creature Commandos? Did you enjoy seeing GI Robot's backstory? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that sphere on your screen, and subscribe to our channel. I'll be bringing you the full analysis of the next episode and all the updates on the DCU, but to do that, you gotta be subscribed so you don't miss anything. Check out our video popping up on your screen, which is our complete analysis of episodes 1 and 2. Thanks a ton for hanging out, and see you in the next video.